Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to school for 2020-2021 school year. Um, just want to make this video real quick about the syllabus and just also introduce myself since I won't see some of y'all until Thursday of the first week, I guess. But I'm Mr. Brown. This is astronomy, and just going to talk through the syllabus real quick. And I'm not going to read it to y'all. Y'all can read just as good as I can. So I'm not going to read it to y'all, but let me minimize myself so I can get out of the way. There we go. All right, so just going to talk through this real quick. I'm not going to read it to y'all, but you can see information right there. Click on stuff. You can see this goes to my website where you can read about me if you want to. Back when I had much shorter hair than I got right now, and all this good stuff. There's my schedule. All right, astronomy. Now, I love astronomy. I've actually never took an astronomy class in college or high school either, nothing like that. But it's been a hobby of mine forever, and it's just really, really fun. It's fascinating. I love going outside at night, looking up at the stars, or even during the daytime, seeing the sun or the clouds. Or every now and then, you can actually see Venus during the daytime, which it's really hard to do, but we might can be able to do that this year if we can. But it's Earth, space, time, all this kind of stuff in there. It's some of pretty much everything as far as science goes, and we will spend a lot of time talking about just a lot of stuff. But the most important thing about this class, though, is there is no state standards for this class, which means we can talk about whatever we want, which I love that. So there's sometimes there's something that'll happen, like the meteor shower happens, or some new discovery that NASA made, or some SpaceX launch, or something like that, and we'll spend time talking about that. And if you see something in the news, or you see something online that you want to talk about in class, tell me. Shoot me an email with it, or tell me in class. And we'll talk about it, because it's the more participation we have from y'all, the more discussion from y'all, the more fun it is. And I want y'all to take some ownership of it too. So anything at all you see this year that you want to talk about, let me know. We'll talk about it. All right. So need a notebook. There's no book for this class. There's no textbook. So I'm going to worry about that at all. But I know we're going to be e-learning for the first little bit, but still have a notebook anyway, because later in the year we might start doing more paper stuff. We'll do most everything online, most everything we can online, but anything we do on later in the year could be on paper. So um, have a 3-ring binder just in case. Calculator is helpful. We don't do a lot of math, and I help you out with math. I give you I give you an equation sheet, which is everything you need. You don't got to memorize any equations at all. Excuse me, but having a calculator is helpful. All right. Yeah, I just said that. All right. Telescopes. You don't need to buy a telescope for this class. The school has actually a couple of really nice telescopes that we'll use throughout the year, hopefully, if we're allowed to do that. But with all the virus and stuff. But we'll spend a lot of time in class talking about telescopes. So don't go out and buy one now, but wait till we talk about it, because there's some telescopes out there that the good cheap ones are really not good. They're glorified binoculars, which are decent. In fact, I say down here, if you have a pair of binoculars, then don't buy a telescope. Don't buy a small telescope anyway, because a pair of binoculars, a decent pair of binoculars, you can actually see all these things plus more things. You can see Venus phases, Saturn's rings, Jupiter's 4 biggest moons. You can also see the cloud tops of Jupiter. It's got striped cloud tops. You can see those stripes too. It's really, really neat. So we'll talk about telescopes throughout the year. So don't worry about buying those or buying a telescope now. All right, attendance. Just to throw something out there for this. During the e-learning days, I know some of y'all I will only see Monday. I won't see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But attendance still counts for all days. So the way that's going to happen is on Google Classroom every day, there will be a daily question, very short question. It might be as simple as check this box to let me know that you are online today. Or it might be something like, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Or what's the last thing you looked at in the sky? Just some simple question. It'll take all of 5 seconds, if that. But it's just attendance to let me know that you've gotten online. You've got to do it. You've got to do stuff every day. Because attendance does count. The 10 absences things does count. So if you, by the end of the year, if your absences pile up and you just didn't log on so many days during e-learning, then that's going to count against you. All right. So make sure you do that, not just for my class, but for all classes. All right. Grain scale, same as always. Now, one thing I want to mention here, e-learning in the spring, that was thrown together very, very quickly. And we did the best we could with it. District did the best they could with it. And they handed down all the stuff we had to do about there was no such thing as late, where you turn stuff in as late as you want and it still counted. The minimum you could get was a 50. All that's gone now. All right, all that is completely gone now, which means all work done this year, due dates matter. So if something is due on Wednesday and you don't turn in Wednesday, then it's late and you get points off for that. That's different than last year, so keep that in mind. Also, graded for master. If you turn in something that is nonsense, or I can tell you didn't put forth any effort on it, then again, your grade will suffer because of that. All right. So it's just like treat this as real school, except you're at home instead of at school if you're on e-learning day. So it's not like it was in the spring. It's a little bit different than that. We do tests and projects throughout the year. It looks complicated. It's really not, because the district this year mandated that we do everything out of 100 points. I don't like that, so I just kind of got around it by doing this. So any large assignment has 31 points worth of questions or more, I count 15%, as opposed to something that only has 10 points, counts only 4%. So instead of having a 10-point assignment and a 30-point or 40-point assignment counting the same, they count different now. So the math works. I'll explain it to you in more detail if you want to know. But the math does work. I've made sure it does. So that's just how it is. Now do your work. I'll take it up whenever it's due and so on. All right, during e-learning, whenever something's due, if something is due on Wednesday, you have until Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. to turn in. You do that and you're good to go. But during 5 days a week, when we're back to that, it's due beginning of class. I'll remind you of this when we get back to class 5 days a week, but that'll actually, I won't talk about that anymore now, because when that comes back, I'll remind you, hopefully very soon we'll get back to 5 days a week, and I'll remind you of that. Anything late, 10 points a day for 5 days. After those 5 days, and you get a 0. All right, so if you're 3 days late, that's 30 points off right off the top. So anything after that to 0, so that matters. Also, really, really important, on e-learning, if you're not at school, like for example, let's say you're e-learning on Monday and something is due Monday and you don't turn in until Tuesday or Wednesday, that's still points off, because you're at home. You can still turn the stuff in online. All right, so that's really important for this. So e-learning doesn't mean you have an excuse to not turn work in. All right, make up work. Everything's in Google Classroom. Check my website. Click on that, and it goes right to y'all's page, syllabus and stuff. This calendar here, this is not filled in yet, but it will be once I assign things. This calendar will always be updated automatically through Google Classroom. So you can use this to find out due dates and things if you need it. Absences, again, if you're absent, excused absence, then just whenever you come back to school, ask me. This thing at the bottom right here, ask me for makeup work. I'll be glad to give it to you. Look on Google Classroom, it's there. Email me when you're out. I'll be glad to help you out. But in all cases, though, it is your responsibility to turn in work when it's due. All right, your responsibility to do that. Now, if you are out on a day that work's assigned, then you have 5 days from the day you come back to turn it in. If you are here when work's assigned and you're absent the day it's due, then you turn in the day you come back. If you miss a quiz or a test, really important, miss a quiz or a test, you take it during class the next day I see you, especially if we're on 5 days a week. So if you are out, let's say I assign a test, or I have a test that's due, the test is being taken on Wednesday and you're out Wednesday. When you come into class Thursday, you take the test on Thursday. All right, it's immediately going to happen whether you're ready for it or not, because that's that. And last thing at the bottom, not last thing, but thing at the bottom right here, if there's an extended absence, for example, if you get really sick or a family emergency, something like that, talk to me and we can work something out. All right, I don't want to pile on if something's just really going wrong. So talk to me about extreme circumstances, and I'll be glad to work with you on things. All right, star parties. Hopefully we'll get to be able to do this. And this is depending on the virus load and what the district allows us to do and all that stuff. But throughout the year, we will meet at night with the school's telescope. These are not required meetings at all. They're not required at all. But I'll bring the school's telescopes out. Bring your own if you have it, binoculars, whatever. We'll look at whatever we can see. We'll do some star parties. In fact, right behind me, and y'all can't see my window shut, but in the let me back up. Here we go. So actually can't see a thing, can you? Wow. Anyway, so behind me, that looks terrible. Well, anyway, my classroom overlooks the baseball field and the football practice fields. So on the football practice fields, it's a fairly semi-dark area around school. So we'll go back there every now and then if we can do this, and we can see what we can see. And it's fun to do. You can bring your own stuff. I'll mention these more as I get closer. But it's really fun though, so I do encourage you to do that. Extra assistance, if you have trouble on something, let me know. I'll be glad to help you out. I'm always available by email. Email me, and I'll be glad to respond to you. I actually respond to you all the time, even on weekends. I'll respond back to you. Um, if you want to come by in person, third period during 5 days a week, third period, sixth period after school, if you need to. If e-learning though, I'm online every day, Monday through Thursday, 10:45 to 11:15. There's going to be a Google Meet link on Google Classroom that I'll put up there, and I'll be sitting at my desk right here. And if you have a question on Monday through Thursday, just jump on between 10:45 and 11:15 if you're at home, and I'll help you out. Or anytime on Friday, 9:10 to 9:30, I'll help you out also. Got a remind set up, so click on that. You can get the remind, or just look at this if you want to. Let me get that out of the way. Oh, all right. So I use Remind to just remind you of things. I never ever use Remind to assign work ever. Instead, what I do is, let's say that there's a test Wednesday, and something comes up, and I might send a reminder out that says, "Okay, y'all, test is now Thursday." I always push it back. I never bring it up at all. Or sometimes I might give a homework problem that is impossible to do. Happens every now and then. And so instead of having y'all waste time doing that, I'll send a reminder out that says, once I figure it out, I'll send a reminder out that says, ignore number 3 on whatever assignment. All right. So I will always use it to omit or push back work, never to put work on there, never put anything extra on there for y'all. All right. Class rules, just common stuff, respect common courtesy, and read the handbook. For the first few weeks, as long as we're doing math and all that stuff, really, really important. This is school-wide, actually district-wide more than anything. You got to wear your mask all the time when you're in between classes. In the classroom, you can take your mask off in the classroom only when you're at your desk and everybody else is sitting down also. So between classes, if you come in and sit down in my room, great. But don't take your mask off until everybody else is sitting down also. All right, I'll have mine on for the same thing. I will take mine off when everybody's sitting down. But when people move around, I'll put mine right back on, right? So same kind of thing. Lab stuff we'll do. I couldn't do much labs in here because it's astronomy, but we will do some activities moving around, so it's kind of labs. Don't be late. Cell phones, there will be some times where you can use your cell phone because we'll have some, not free time, but have some time where you work on stuff on your own. But they should be off and out of sight otherwise. And don't assume it's okay to have your phone out. Don't assume anything. If you think you can have your phone out, ask me. And you say, well, can I have my phone out? And if I say yes, go for it. If I say no, then don't. But don't assume. For phones, if you have your phone out when you shouldn't, you get one warning. After that, then you get detention. Y'all don't push me on that, please, because it's kind of a hassle. All right, consequences, obvious stuff. Y'all have seen that before. And topic list, this is what we do throughout the year. And we kind of take what I call the inside out approach. In other words, we start with just observations, basic stuff you can see, telescopes, then Earth, the inner planets, Jupiter, Saturn get bigger and bigger, outer planets, then debris is comets and asteroids, then the sun's bigger, interstellar's bigger, general stars, lysical stars, supernovas, black holes are bigger, galaxies bigger, finally alien life, but the potential of it, and space travel at the end. So it's a fun class, y'all. I really do enjoy astronomy. I hope y'all enjoy it too. Some of y'all might not even know much about it at all coming into it, but hopefully by the end of the year you'll have an appreciation for it. And I love talking about it a lot. So as the year goes on, we'll mention a bunch of things. If you see something that's interesting that you want to talk about in class, tell me about it. Send me an email or bring it to me. Tell me in the beginning of class, and we'll talk about it because it's so much fun going back and forth and debating on things, not arguing, but debating on things about what people think or what people believe or whatever. And it's really fun to do. So see something like that, let me know. Anything in the news, I'll be glad to talk about it in class because it just makes it a lot more fun then. So questions at all, I'm always around. So shoot me an email if you want to. Give me a call on my room, not my cell phone. That's my room number, my classroom phone number. Or shoot me an email. I'll be glad to help you out. Anything you need. But until then, until I see y'all in person, I'm glad y'all are here and look forward to having a good year this year.